doing these things, we also are men with the same nature as you, and preach to you that you should turn aside from these useless things to the living God, who made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all the things that are in them, who in bygone generations allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good, gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. Acts 14, verses 15 to 17. As far as evangelistic projects go, Paul and Barnabas' mission to the city of Lystra looked like an unmitigated disaster, at least by modern standards. A lame man was miraculously healed, and the citizens of the city took it as a sign that the pagan gods had suddenly appeared in their midst. They hastily prepared to worship Paul and Barnabas. Paul, however, recognized what was happening. The people of Lystra were so hungry for truth that they jumped at the first thing that looked right to them. Their response, wildly inappropriate, but their motives appeared to be right. Pay careful attention to Paul's response, because it holds valuable keys for sharing our faith today. First of all, Paul preached a message similar to the first angel's message. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in it. Second, he framed the presentation in the context of the great controversy, who in bygone generations allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. Finally, he pointed to what is perhaps the most important evangelistic principle: God. And the fact that God himself did not leave without witnesses. Read through the book of Acts, and you will find something that comes as a surprise to modern Christians. There are no cold interests. Every time the disciples baptized someone, it was someone already responding to the Holy Spirit. On the day of Pentecost, Peter baptized devout men. Saul had an encounter with Jesus before Ananias was sent in to work on him. Cornelius, the first Gentile convert, is described as a just man, one who fears God. Take, for example, the Roman centurion. Just on the rumor of what Jesus was doing and was capable of, he believed of what Jesus could do. Just speak it, and it would be so. And it was. We do not convert people. That is the working of the Holy Spirit. As the Christian, we show to other Christians and the world around us what God has done for us and what He continues to do for us and what He will continue to do. That's it. You share the gospel with someone, the origins of that is the leading of the Holy Spirit. He's working on the heart. Yeah, people reject. But God doesn't reject them. And maybe it takes something cataclysmic to bring people back or to shift their focus. But that's God's work. We're just extremely privileged to be able to aid in the work. Converting is beyond our capacity. Rather, we appeal to those God is already converting. Perhaps the best skill you can cultivate when it comes to sharing your faith is to listen. God gave you twice as many ears as He did your mouth. To determine where God has already been at work with someone, long before you make contact with someone who is interested in Jesus, God has already been sitting there stirring the heart. You're the last piece of the puzzle. Well, ultimately that would be God. We're just an instrument. The one God uses to appeal to people to act on the conviction that God has already created. Lord, open our eyes so that we can learn to see the people around us who are already waking up